Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. There is a crisis in morality in America. In the last few decades, we have seen a tremendous increase in teen pregnancy, in bad behavior from young people, and in substance abuse among young people. And a lot of these changes that we are seeing within American society, a lot of these changes for the worse that we're seeing in American society, are related to changes in the way that our homes operate, the way in which our families act with respect to each other. In American homes, you can often see an emphasis on instilling certain life skills within kids. You can see parents who desire for their children to do well in academics or to do well in sports. And so we're doing a reasonably good job of preparing our kids in that way. But there's much less of an emphasis on teaching our kids about morality, teaching them about how to live wisely. The family is a tremendously important aspect of our society. It is something that ensures that morality goes on from one generation into the next generation. It is absolutely fundamental for teaching the next generation about how to live rightly. And when the family fails to act as a family, then it can bring devastating effects on the generation to come and generations that come after that. Think about this. One of the ways in which a family can fail to act as a family is when one of the parents leaves that family, when there's a divorce that happens within the family. When half of the parental influence is removed from a family, then it ends up affecting the kids. I'm about to give you some statistics that are done by some various agencies in America, from the Bureau of Diseases, from the Center for Disease Control, for Criminal Justice and Behavior Journal, from the National Principals Association report, from the Department of Justice, and from the Texas Department of Corrections. These are some statistics that talk about what goes on when the father leaves the family, when there's a divorce and the father leaves. 63% of youth suicides are from fatherless homes. 85% of all children that exhibit behavioral disorders come from a fatherless home. 80% of rapists motivated with displaced anger come from a fatherless home. 71% of all high school dropouts come from fatherless homes. 70% of juveniles in state operating institutions come from fatherless homes. And 85% of all youth sitting in prison grew up in fatherless homes. When the family fails, the next generation will fail also. When you first glance at the Fifth Commandment, you might look at it and you might say, well, you know, I've shown some respect towards my parents in the past, and so I'll pretty much have this one wrapped up. I don't have anything to worry about. But the Fifth Commandment has far-reaching effects on every single authority structure that exists within a society. And when this commandment is disobeyed, it absolutely destroys the foundation of the society. It ends up harming the family, and it ends up harming everything else that exists within a society. When the Fifth Commandment is disobeyed, a society will be unable to distinguish between right and wrong. We're going to talk about two things today. We're going to talk about the responsibilities of children with respect to the Fifth Commandment, and we're going to talk about the responsibilities of parents with respect to the Fifth Commandment. First, we'll talk about the responsibilities to children, but everyone in this room needs to pay attention, not just the children. Because those of you who are parents are going to be the ones that help your children to understand the concepts that I'm going to talk about today. And if you're not paying attention during this part, it's going to be more difficult for you to do that. And even if you don't plan on having kids, even if you don't have kids and you say, I'm never going to have kids in my entire life, you are still going to be under different authority structures in society. And so it's important that you understand what is going on with this commandment. As we talk about the responsibilities of children, we're going to talk about one central question. What is honor? With the fourth commandment, the important question is, what should I do on the day of rest? Now the important question is going to be this. What is honor? What is the Bible talking about when it says, honor your father and your mother? And there are a couple of things that we're going to talk about with respect to that. The first is respect. You need to show respect to your parents. Kids, you need to show respect to your parents. Listen to me now. And they have no idea. Show respect to your parents. A number of years ago, in Japanese society, you could show respect to your parents by the way that you talk with them. You could show respect to people who were very important in society by the way that you talk with them. If you were to use dono or tono after their name, that was a tremendous term of respect. It was like calling them Lord. And so that's the way people in Japan used to show respect. Now, if you were to use these terms today,